Thank you. My name is Nathaniel Kemp. This will be one of the first podcasts that I do for this week. In the upcoming weeks, I'll be joined by my brother and some friends where we talk about everything. It'll be like a roundtable discussion. We talk about politics, religion, life in general, how to overcome and things that we have gone through, and how survival is just not survival. It's actually living, people. It's actually living. We are bombarded daily by politics, news, bad news, deaths. But we seem to forget one thing. We all have something in common. Life. We like to live. We like to live in peace. We want peace. We want harmony. Unfortunately, there are those around us that don't. So how do you swim with sharks? How do you get along with life the way it is? Well, we're going to discuss all that in the upcoming weeks when I start the new podcast. And this is going to be your reality check, my reality check. See, we've all gone through things. Politicians say things and do things, and they lie. You know, there was a guy that started a group called the Walk Away Movement, where they walked away from the Democrats. Can't say I blame them. But here's what I say. Walk away from all of them. Because the majority of these politicians don't care about you or me. We have to get up and work every day. We have to pay our bills. We have to raise our families if you have them. Some of us are struggling every day. Well, on this podcast, for your reality check, we're going to talk about all those. We're going to talk about spirituality. We're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about real life issues that actually matter to people. Because, see, I'm like this. I see what has happened to this country and what has happened to the people in this country. Why? Because I'm part of it. I live here in this country. This is my country. It's where I was born. A lot of hate and a lot of division. If you want to know where all the hate and division comes from, you can thank the mainstream media for that. And you could even thank majority, not all, but majority of our politicians who have lied to us. Constantly use their party as a platform to cause division. And both the Democrats and Republicans have done that. They have not changed anything. The only thing they've done is create the same old thing every day. Nothing changes. The only way change happens, change has to come from within, not from outside. It has to come from the heart. Love comes from the heart. Even hate comes from within. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what you believe. I believe this, that we're all here for one purpose. See, we're all connected, and it's all connected. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are all connected. And true, we've got some crazy politicians like that crazy ass Maxine Waters, nutty as a fruitcake. We got the criminals, Bill and Hillary. You know, we've got all these people that are in our faces every day telling us how we're supposed to believe and how we should believe. Well, here's my thinking. They can't tell me what to believe. The media cannot tell me what to believe because the media lies, all of them. Not just one or two, all of them lie. And all of them take sides. See, journalists are supposed to be nonpartisan. They're not supposed to take sides. They're supposed to give us the facts and let us decide for ourselves. I've heard Mika Brzezinski say we control what the people should think. I've heard that dude Turd Blossom that used to work with Bush, Karl Rove, used to say we control reality. Well, I'm here to tell both you morons you don't control reality. You think you do, but you don't. Here's the reality. We all live in this world. And those of us who live here in the U.S. want peace and harmony for everyone. I don't buy into the craziness of the left because they're social justice warriors. They're trying to make a statement, and their statement is more violent. They keep talking about, well, we can't be violent. Well, they are violent. The left is very violent. And the right, well, I'm sorry, they can lie, and they can be very violent too. That's why I say walk away from both of them. You know, Maxine Waters said something at one of her rallies. She said, if you see any of these Republicans, run them out. Tell them we don't want their business. You know what that reminds me of? Something that they used to do to the minorities back in the 50s and the early 60s, where you couldn't drink here and you couldn't eat here. That's the same thing that was said to minorities back in the 50s and 60s. Maxine Waters has set black folk back 500 years. That lady is nuts. And then we have all these other people like Dianne Feinstein, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, all these people who claim they know what's best for us, and they don't. And then you got the Republicans on the other side, the rhinos, the fake Republicans. They don't even understand that we elected them to speak on our behalf and to represent us. And the problem is they don't. They represent their special interests, their PACs, or whatever they call themselves. That's who they represent. But they don't represent you or me or my family. They represent none of that. They are shiftless, and they are all liars. Literally, both sides, the Democrats and Republicans, are all freaking liars. And I challenge anyone to tell me they're not. I don't trust any politician. There's only one person I do trust, though, and that's God. See, in this vast world that we live in, there's room for everyone. And regardless, that I've heard this saying that light overcomes darkness. But here's the thing. Light and darkness coexist. Why? Because we have day and night. Simple as that. But it's not just that. It's more metaphorical. See, they say in order to get rid of darkness, you have to put a little light on the subject. And that just doesn't do it. In order to get rid of darkness, you got to have love. Love is the only thing that can overcome any form of darkness. And neither the Democrats nor the Republicans love any of us. And until people realize that and say enough, nothing is going to change. Nothing. See, they have forgotten about us, the people that work every day to try to pay our bills. There are people who are trying to raise families, but they don't really care. They care about how much they can line their pockets with corporate funds and donations. So in the upcoming weeks, we're going to talk about everything. Surviving pain, living with the scars of our life. We're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about how we overcome. These are the things that people are more interested in. How to overcome pain, how to overcome sadness, or even how to overcome depression. These are the things people really want help with. If you go around anywhere in this country, people will tell you they just want it to end. They want the pain and the suffering to end. We've got too many people that are homeless on the street. We got families that are homeless on the street. Just go look at Los Angeles, California, and that'll tell you something. And it's not just Los Angeles, it's all over the world, all over the United States. We have forgotten as a nation who we are and what we are. This nation was a chosen nation, regardless of how it was founded or how it was done. It was chosen for a purpose. And we have let the politicians control that purpose. And in turn, we have forgot what was most important. And that's family, that's love, and most importantly, God. So until we get there, and until we change our way of thinking, nothing is going to change. Nothing. So stay tuned for the next upcoming podcast. And I'm quite sure if you stay tuned, we can all help each other get through this struggle. I'm Nathaniel Kemp. This is all of our reality check.